going on with the internet around this area, but I don't know. This has been happening lately, and I don't understand why. So, anyways, we're back, and hopefully we'll stay up. But can't guarantee it. Stuff's out of my control. Usually I get dropped 2 or 3 times in the course of the day, and it's frustrating. That's why I don't do too many live streams. But for new players, I don't know if this happens to you or veteran players. If the thing is when you get dropped like that, you get logged. When you come back in, your route, if you notice, there's no route access galaxy map to replot your route, so you got to go back in there and replot. So you hit galaxy map, and it'll take you to your previous route, and it'll replot it. The last long distance trip that I took, it took quite a bit of time to plot the route. And the funny part was, I don't know if it was a glitch or what with the Elite Dangerous, but it had to plot that route twice, so I had to wait twice as long for it to plot the route. So, but it's not doing it this time, so I guess that's a good thing. So let's see, let's get out of this system and head to the next. I don't know how much I'll be streaming, but as I was saying prior to getting disconnected, fuel scooping, I was watching one of Jingle's videos like 2 or 3 days ago, and he was going through the fuel scooping really slow because he had about a half a tank that he had to refuel, and I don't know if he was doing it purposely or what, but like right here, he would stopped right here and he was just letting it fuel up slowly, and you see how slow it is. Now I give it a little thrust and you see how it goes up quicker. That's about 75% thrust right there, and feels pretty quick. I don't think it's the biggest fuel scoop that I can put on this, but it works. It's not too bad. But usually when I enter a system, as soon as I enter it, I like to use a discovery scanner, and then I'll hit the go down to the system map and take a look. So there's 17, looks like there's 17. I'll zoom out, yeah. Normally, sometimes, you know, it'll say 17, but there's only, you know, 9 or 15 bodies that were discovered. So there's 2 more bodies that are needing to be discovered, and you could be one of the first ones to discover those planets. And so, you know, you go into your FSS and discover them, and you'll have your name next to that planet. So whenever anybody comes into the system, they'll have your commander's name up there. And it's a pretty neat little deal that Elite Dangerous did, and I enjoy it a lot. I really do. It just adds that personal touch to this game, and it's pretty exciting. But I was going to tell you a story there. When I headed out towards the black hole and the Devil's Dance Floor, it's kind of weird because, yeah, it's this video game, and it's just pixelation, but it got my heart pumping. It got my adrenaline going because, you know, you get too close to those neutron stars and you don't go in at the right vector, you're gonna die. Your ship is gonna get crushed, and you gotta buy the rebuy, and just it's not fun. And that's happened to me a couple times. But the interesting part was the black hole. That was amazing to see. It's literally psychedelic. You move your ship around if you're looking in that direction, and the view is warped. It's pretty neat how they did that effect, and I thought that was a great personal, you know, encounter with the unknown. And you know, I'll never be able to see one in real life, and if that's what it looks like, that's pretty darn scary. So yeah, this game has a lot to offer new players. But one of the issues that's been happening lately in this game was, you know, the mining aspect of it, how they nerfed it and it went all wrong, and the fleet carriers, you know, the cost and the maintenance and the upkeep and however you want to call it, you know, those were issues for players. And I personally myself, I haven't purchased the fleet carrier because at this time, at this moment, it doesn't interest me just yet. But I do have some future plans that I would like to do with the fleet carrier. But I'm gonna research it a little more and through watching videos and stuff, because I don't know if it would really be worth it and viable for a solo player such as myself, you know, to be out there, you know, the carrier and have all those costs and worry about all the upkeep and then the fuel. And if there's a deficit in the tritium, which is the fuel for the fleet carriers, why bother? You know, you're supposed to enjoy these games. You're supposed to get out from reality and have fun in these games. And if you're gonna stress about fuel on something that you're supposed to be enjoying, what's the point? So when they fix all those issues, then maybe I'll go ahead and acquire a fleet carrier and do what I was planning on doing with it. I think it would be really neat to be able to use the fleet carrier to go out there and just discover so much stuff and take your time out there. Because, you know, those fleet carriers are... They look awesome, and the things that you might be able to do with them, it's pretty interesting and unique, and it's piqued my interest. But we'll see what happens for the future. But the last mission that I did, that was a passenger mission, 512 jumps one way down to the Devil's Dance floor, and so it's 512 back. And I do have some engineering on this ship. It's the Dolphin, and I picked this ship to do the exploration because it seems more viable than the other ships that I had. I pretty much got all the ships, but I think I'm missing maybe one or two ships. And then there's still some permits that I have to acquire around the bubble that I haven't acquired, and then there's some invitations from our engineers also that I have to do. And then there's the other, I guess, mission within the engineers where they want like 290 progenitor cells delivered to them so that you can have access to their engineering upgrades. And I've been playing this game for just under a year, and I still don't know everything. Game. That's how much learning you have to do with this game. This game has so much learning to do. The learning curve, it's not for your average layman, but once you get it, it's like golf, you know. Once you learn it, it's there. It's just second nature to you. So yeah, if I'm hoping that this game will last another 10 years, because I definitely can see myself enjoying this game for a few more years, definitely, if, you know, they don't nerf it to death or change it so much that it's just not palpable anymore. Complete. There's other games that are just they're changing them so much, and they're doing things that, you know, are really just discourage players. And for instance, you know, my channel is made up of mostly World of Tank videos and things like that, and when I first started playing World of Tanks, it was enjoyable. The what they call the RNG, random number generator, wasn't so bad back when I first started, but now they've destroyed it with that RNG and the matchmaking and platoon matchmaking, things like that, and then certain tanks that they introduce into the game, you know. Yeah, it's free to play, and I understand that it's a business and they have to make their money, but at the same token, when you have a company that's introducing new things into... Uh-oh. My fuel... Hey, I gotta watch my fuel here, because I've got one more jump, so... I don't like... This is too close for comfort, so... I have to look at my galaxy map and see what type of stars are around here. Maybe the next one is something I can look at, but I'm gonna have to find a star that I can fuel up in. Brown dwarf. like it's fuelable. Yeah. Alright, it should be good. It routed me, so let's do this. Give it a shot. Apparently, I guess I changed my settings. I was messing with them yesterday, and it changed my settings up, so.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
If not, look for something close. Like there's a couple stars nearby that we're good. Very good.
Fuel scooping.
That was close to running on empty. Try to get it as close to 320, 350 if we can, without overheating. Normally I equip some heat sinks, but this time what I did was I equipped some AFM modules so that if I do use a neutron star damages my FS drive, I can repair it, no problem. Nah. But as I was saying, like games like World of Tanks, like I said when I first started playing that, it was fun playing with friends and stuff, but they made that game to where you platoon up with friends, and it's just frustrating as all get, because when you're in a platoon most of the time you're bottom tier, and the RNG, as I was saying, the RNG is just really bad. Really bad. You can have a 13 perk crew and it won't matter. They'll be performing like if they had 2 skills or no skills. For instance, the last 3 days have been horrible. And I'm talking horrible, not even just okay. Literally unplayable. Example, you're in a tier 9 or tier 10 light tank and you shoot, 18 shots into another tier 9 or 10 vehicle, and you're aiming. Let's say you shoot, I can't remember the exact numbers on one of the games, but I remember shooting somewhere like 19 rounds, connected, hit with 11 or 12 rounds of those 19, but I only penned 1 shot, and that's aiming, at weak spots and stuff. And the reason why I only hit 11 of those 19 rounds was because a good majority of the other rounds, when I shot, RNG said, no, you're not going to hit that tank, even though you're fully aimed. You're just aimed perfectly at where you want to shoot, and you're sitting still, you're not moving. And like I said, you got a good crew, 13 perks, so on and so forth. You got food or whatever rations that help you, and the shot doesn't connect, and that's pretty bad. Now I can deal with shooting 19 rounds and connecting with 11, but I can't deal with just penning 1 round out of those 11. Even 3 rounds out of those 11 it's unacceptable. And that's been happening with usually all the tanks. Yeah, I'll play 3 to 5 games that day on World of Tanks, and if those games go bad like that, I don't play it. I get off and I don't play it. It's useless. It's not fun. It's frustrating. And I believe it's happening to a lot of people because friends that I play with, they are, most of the time they're saying the same thing, And I know at least 5 different people that have stopped playing that game because of that issue. So, if Wargaming doesn't get their stuff together and try and fix this stuff, they're gonna see a lot of people moving on, because when they merged servers to do crossplay with Xbox players, it brought in total of, on good days there can be up to 10,000 players playing at one time. And that's what it was the first day that they did it. There was 9,000 some odd players in the servers. And first day or two, it was, you were getting pretty good top tiers, and the RNG was palpable. And I don't know what happened after the second or third day. It just totally took a nosedive, and I'd say out of 10 games, you were top tier 2 or 3. And they weren't fun. The sad part is those 3 games that you were top tier, you would get a team of Muppets. And I don't criticize, I don't like to judge others, but it gets frustrating. And usually when that happens, if you take a look at the end game stats, your team, the top 3 to 5 players, will have okay RNG, 50 to 60% RNG, but the rest are 30 below. If you look at the other team, you'll see 10 of those players have 50 plus good RNG, and then the others will have 40 percent RNG to the negative side. So it's frustrating, and until they fix that, I'll be doing a lot more Elite Dangerous videos, because just can't handle that frustration. I come to play to relax and enjoy myself with friends and family and so on and so forth. So hopefully they'll fix it. If not, then that's on them. I don't know if they favor certain players or accounts or what have you, but a lot of players that I've talked to seem to think that that's the case, so, but with no proof, there's nothing you can do about it. Anyways, got disconnected again. Sorry, guys.